Here we are. Good morning. Okay. Let me show you something right quick. This is what I tried to send as a screenshot. Come on. Twitter. Interface is the worst. Okay, here we are. So this is what I tried to send you earlier. So I said, a rigorous, strictly nonpartisan, data-driven analysis. Election 2020. So do you see the key on the right side?
Are you sure you sent it to me? It's not here again.
It's in the live stream. It's on screen. I'm not live? Yeah, I'm live. Huh. Very strange. Let's see. Les is in the chat already. Les, what do you see on screen? Probably the chat here now. Let's see. Boom. You still don't see anything in the live stream? Rose, you still see nothing in the live stream? Alrighty. Huh. I don't know what you're seeing. All right. So. Let's grab an image. Oh, no, I've not seen the chat. Tenzin Wozier. My brother voted for Trump. I didn't vote. What's up? Did Joe Rogan vote? I don't know if he did or not. Looks pretty close. Time for a good meme. You got one? Let's see. Finish pictures. Open. Nothing in that folder. Weird. Camera roll? What's that? Okay, I don't have any photos saved on this computer. Let's just draw. Let's just draw. And let's start light. The Dems let me down in Texas. Hey, Paul. Oh, I didn't see the Texas results. It was blue, I thought, last time I saw it last night. I think almost all the state maps are still going to change. That's kind of neat.
California voted for Uber drivers classified as having a
Oh, man. That sucks. Because their business model is to not have employees, just have contractors. So if the people who drove for Uber were employees and they were driving full time, they would get health insurance and retirement benefits and all the stuff that goes with a full time job. But the new model is the gig economy. Nobody's an employee. Everybody's just doing a quick job, a quick gig. It's a victory for big money and big tech, and it is a defeat for labor. Live in California. Oh well. South Texas and border counties voted Trump, oddly enough. Well, yeah, they do. Well, they like him in surprisingly high numbers, but they still, I think, most Latinos, I don't know about Mexican Americans specifically, but most Latinos preferred Biden, but young Latino men prefer Trump. Let's see. There. But let's do that on a separate layer. What else we got going here? Yeah, bummer for Uber drivers. So, Ed, did you buy Uber stock yesterday in anticipation of this? They don't want America to turn into the same kind of corrupt crap country they fled. No. Not sure what to say about Mexico. I can't claim to know a whole lot about it. Even though it is the country immediately south of here. I think I've only been across the border into Mexico twice. And not anytime recently.
Yes, I did buy.
Ah, well. Now, Tenzin, are you Ed? Has Ed been in the chat today? No. Oh, okay. Okay. I had asked. I thought Ed was here in the chat. He's usually the one talking about investments and trading and such. All right. What's it do that? Oh, nothing good. There we are. All right. Well, let's see. Who's that? Yep, it is. She says, only saw the map you sent. No, did not see the deleted messages. I'll say yay. All right. All right, enough of that. New layer. Let's see. How about something like that? What else we got here? I've been to Mexico once, says Les, but it was a resort, so I didn't see the real deal. Mexico has cute women and good food, but unfortunately the country is corrupt. Oh, that's interesting. James Howard Kunstler had I think it was a podcast where he was talking about going to a state dinner in Mexico, and they had models. Like the Mexican government had hired uh, female models, I think from Venezuela, to come and just stand around and be pretty at this state dinner. You know, their job was just to stand against the wall and make the room look better by their presence, and they had been flown in from another country for this purpose. So I don't know if that's corruption, but it certainly is a poor use of public funds. I'm not 100% sure they were from Venezuela. They might have been from Argentina. It's definitely a South American country and not Brazil because they speak Spanish, not Portuguese. You know, the model spoke Spanish.
Sorry about it. South Dakota, two other states voted to legalize marijuana.
Yeah, Arizona was one of those states, which is pretty amazing because Arizona has been a fairly politically conservative state for as long as I can remember.
Something like 1 in 3 people live in states with recreational marijuana. Is it true?
I don't know. I live in one. I know. I think most states have medical marijuana now. My mother lives in Arkansas, and I think that they do not have recreational yet, but there is a legal marijuana farm just down the road from where my mother lives. And they do, it's a big farm with lots of employees. Like when they get off work every day, the road gets busy. Let's see. Oh, that's too big. And that.
Oregon State legalized the chemical insurance.
Yeah, I did see that this morning. That's good news. Psilocybin, yeah. Yeah, so it is the active psychedelic component in magic mushrooms, and they're now legal in Oregon. And I think Oregon is the first state to do that. Somebody in the chat correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see. I want that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I'm using the wet media here in Fresco. So you can see long after I make a stroke, it's still spreading out and diffusing and interacting with the other layers. Tenzin, where are you located? Paul, what is the status of recreational marijuana in Texas? Oh, really? What part of Brooklyn? I used to live in Windsor Terrace, right next to Greenwood Cemetery. That is the Fort Hamilton Parkway stop on the F train. Or the G. All right. I know just where Bushwick is. Wow. Hemp is legal, but not marijuana. Let's see. Texas will still ruin your life for it. Man, that sucks. So what was the outcome of your arrest? Were you convicted or were you released? Oh. So is that, I noticed you're saying hemp and not marijuana, so is that, is it low THC hemp? I mean, is it like, hemp for fiber? Or hemp for CBD? Yeah, it does suck. Graphite. Oh, that's interesting. So it's translucent. Doesn't look right though.
Seriously, no difference between that and what is called CBD. It is CBD.
I was wondering about CBS. It's like, there's the new acronym for me. Or maybe he's talking about the television network. Nope. CBD. Yeah, I'm completely out of my CBD tincture, which I find very helpful. But they don't sell it here in Bellows Falls, and now that I don't have a car, I don't get up to Springfield, Vermont, which is where I usually bought it.
What is CBD?
CBD is cannabidiol, I think is how it's pronounced. It's one of the compounds in marijuana. It doesn't have much of a psychoactive effect, but it reduces inflammation, and it's also relaxing. Like you can smoke a CBD joint, and you won't necessarily get high, but you'll feel relaxed. So CBD is legal in most places.
Super regulated by the state called that.
Yeah, sometimes I've really just once I've been into the legal pot store in Northampton. They actually have two, but in Northampton, Massachusetts, and yeah, they have, I guess, lots of taxes. So the weed is more expensive at the legal store than it is from the dealer. So I'm still getting mine on the black market. All right, I've had enough of this dude. Let's pop on over. Actually, let's see this in quick motion. Time lapse.
So all is growing CBD stuff.
Hmm. Less, I think CBD is going to be in every variety of marijuana, but people have been breeding it to select for high THC content over CBD for decades now because of the drug war. Alrighty, I'm going to export that. Time lapse. Blue face man. Why do you say that, Tenzin? I find CBD tinctures very helpful. Growing weed is way too easy. I've always wanted to try, but I never have because, well, it's been illegal. And now, around here, there are so many people who grow it. It's very easy to come by. Okay, so go away and CBD, I only taste oil. Well, maybe you got a bad product. I'm not sure what to tell you.
Here, from my understanding, there are two major kinds of food. Those that work on the body to relax it, and those that stimulate the brain.
Yeah, so typically sativas are going to be that latter category, and the body highs more the indica. But they both have a mixture of a great many compounds, including THC and CBD. Let's see, what am I doing? Where's my tab mate? There we go. All right. Character tones is what I'm looking for. All right, so what else? What's everybody else thinking about today? What's on your mind? I mean, obviously, what's going to be on everybody's mind is the election, but what else? What else? My friend found a pot plant growing on his property, mostly wilderness. Someone should look into making cannabis plants perennials, or at least make the seed frost hardy. I think indicas are pretty cold tolerant. They grow in the mountains in Asia, like in India and probably Tibet and Nepal. Definitely in Nepal. I mean, that's why they're called Kush, some of those varieties. What's that all about? Yes. It's legal to grow it here, but because I don't own this place, I would have to get permission from the landlord, and I'm reluctant to ask. And, there's so many people growing it, I'll just take what they're producing. I don't need to grow it myself now. Although electricity is included in my rent, so the landlord would be subsidizing the crop. I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate me having bright lights on 24/7. Or I guess you don't have them on 24/7 most of the time. All you need is compact fluorescent light bulbs, mylar, and some good priced seeds, and just water daily. Now, as I understand it, most people who grow seriously don't grow from seed, they grow from clones. But could be my information is out of date. I haven't studied this in many years. All right. I'm going to call this page done. Oh, this is for Les. Les, I saw what you meant yesterday about it looked like the blood splatter coming from behind Marcus, so here, I put it in front. All right. So, save. Now, let's open a different one. Yeah. One plant won't use that much electricity. Have the plants grow in a tank and put in a gecko The gecko needs the light, and you can just play dumb and say you didn't know that was pot. Clones if you can get one. It won't smell till its final months, and you can trim to a bonsai level. Oh, to carry and hide it around. Interesting. Let's see. What am I looking for? I'm looking for something which is not in this folder. Okay. Come on. Here. This is what I'm looking for. What? There we go. So that's what Marcus looks like a few days after. So, top here, we're going to have him screaming in agony. And we're going to have Joyce and Derek. Yes, his new head. The snake's removed.
Very different.
Yeah. He's also had parts of his brain removed, and he's opted not to have them put back. Yeah. Well, he's actually going to be calmer and happier now with those parts of his brain gone. Yeah, the parasite was making him stressed out and volatile. All right, so I'm looking for the rough layer. Here we are, rough. All right, so now let's delete that. And zoom on in. Let's see, ink. Good ink. We need ink borders. Where are my borders? Oh, I need these layer labels to be bigger. Ink still. I guess I don't have an ink borders layer. All right, so I will make one now. All right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There we go. And oh, really? They say easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think I heard that most recently on the Amazon show The Boys. The Carl Urban character says it. Alrighty. So let's drag the ink borders way up here to the top. There we are. And now back to the rough. And so I think we're going to have 2 panels. So one where Marcus is like on the ground screaming. Okay, so now, how does one spell a scream? A scream of pain. I've got arg here, but arg is not right. Arg is not how you scream. You scream by just, let's see, back. I-E. How's that for a scream? Still got the snakes. This one's flopping around, throwing blood.
If you were reading the comments on YouTube, I bet you would have thousands of views.
You know what? I have recently made contact with an actress who is going to be providing the voice of Joyce. And so we're going to do some like radio plays, but I'll have not full animated images, but like a motion comic. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that concept of the motion comic, but you take an old comic book and you just apply some very simple animation and changes. Like, let's see, let me give you an example. They did that for the Iron Man Extremis story. Let's see. Yeah. Bronwyn is the name of the actress. She's in the Halloween special, which is going to premiere at the Bellows Falls Opera House Theater this coming Sunday, and I guess go online that same day. But it's still being edited. Okay. So, I'm putting the motion comic link in the chat. Something like that. Yeah, music will be the challenge. We either need to get somebody to compose some original music or just comb through the YouTube audio archive for stuff that we can use royalty-free. Oh, Paul, we'll miss you, buddy. Thanks for coming by. Yes, first. Yes, this election keeps flipping, giving conspiracy theorists on both sides fuel for the fire. The worst thing about this is, I doubt which is the last thing we need. The worst thing about this is, I doubt which is the last thing we needed in these times. Hey, let me share with you some comments that I read in response to a video by Styx Hexenhammer 666. Let's see. So, on today's live stream, we may be stopping to talk politics a bit. Okay. So, everybody know this guy? Styx Hexenhammer. He's from Vermont. I think he's living in Belgium right now.
All right, everyone. It's a total coincidence.
Nope.
Totally.
No talking. No talking. I just want to read you some of the comments here. Okay, so the gunman says, they hate Trump because they can't control him. The corruption has been exposed. Of course, Google puts their BS warning about delayed results up there. So Trump is winning easily. Vote counting gets stopped overnight. Now it's all flipping to blue. What a joke. Trump did not stop the vote. Let's remember that. North Carolina is literally 100% on real clear politics. Trump is up by 1 point, and they won't call it. Laugh out loud. I'm not surprised Trump won by a landslide. I'm not surprised there is ballot fraud. My surprise is why the hell anyone would actually vote for Biden. Delusion and projection will be the order of the day. People weren't exaggerating when they talked about massive amounts of mail-in voting fraud. Regardless of what happens, I'm prepared. What does that mean? You being serious? You thought they were exaggerating? Why? Did you notice the media setting and lining it up already? When Trump loses, he won't accept it. All that horseshit was setting it all up for now. And the media can swan around pretending that they did their job well and reported what was coming. Lots of people are falling for this bullshit. It's fucking painful to watch. So here are the people who are just absolutely not going to accept a Biden victory if that's how it, plays out. Here's one with a, what's that guy's name? Who's the frog? Pepe. Pepe Frog. Dems keeping the House is bad enough. They're trying to steal the presidency too. I'm not buying they kept the House. Even if Dems kept the House, they no longer control the chamber. With 188 seats to the GOP's 181, they needed 218 for control. They've deluded themselves since 2018, thinking they could expand their 238 majority. This is a very good sign for us. So anyway, there's a little hint of what the alt-right is talking about. What's wrong with being prepared, KMO? Well, it depends what you're preparing to do. What does that mean? It means, what does that mean? Straight up. All right. So, I'm going to do at least two of the voices for Geb. I want to do VZ and Derek. But we need a Steve, we need a Marcus, we need a Pix, we need an Edwina. Guess that's everybody. So I will write scripts for just the characters that we already have actors for. All right. This needs to go away now, so... All right. Here we are. What's this? Oh, my fitness band tells me I need to get up and move. And my coffee cup says I should get up and move as well. So I'll be right back. Did anybody watch the election night live stream with Joe Rogan, Kyle Kalinske, and this other comic, and a fat, sloppy dude? Alex Jones was supposed to show up, and he didn't, which I think everybody was probably a little bit relieved. But it was hilarious. I watched a good portion of that, and I'll probably catch the rest of it later today. All right. I want to get this done. Get this done. And here's Derek, looking concerned. So Joyce is going to have the head of the snake that she cut off of Marcus's head just impaled on the tip of her sword. And she's going to be examining it. I don't have my headphones on. There we go. So what's in the chat? Let's see. Nothing wrong with being able to rely on yourself in tough times. Tough times make strong men. Strong men make weak times. Weak times make weak men. Weak men make tough times. Wise men stay strong throughout. Michigan jumped up 138,000 votes for Biden with 0 for Trump and 0 for third parties. Yeah, that's pretty fishy. Yep. What else we got here? Is Joyce a hero with flaws or an anti-hero? She is definitely not a hero. Yeah. Alexa, define anti-hero. Alexa, stop. Alexa, define anti-hero.
Anti-hero is usually defined as a protagonist who lacks the attributes that make a heroic figure, as nobility of mind and spirit, a life or attitude marked by action or purpose, and the like.
Well, she has purpose, it's just not a very noble one. She's all about being the center of attention. Okay, so... Well, she has no empathy, no compassion. She doesn't care about other people's suffering. And she's not a mammal. She's an amphibian, and she's an amphibian who has been rejected by her own people and treated badly. So, yeah, Mama Shug has been rewiring her brain to make it more human and to try to give her compassion. And so far, nothing. No dice. Alrighty. Okay, so there's some irony in the KMO chapter in Jim Kunstler's book. He recorded the conversation and then he had it algorithmically transcribed, and it contains multiple errors. And a big one is, I said I did not vote for Trump, and in the book it appears I did vote for Trump. But you can tell from the context of the quote that it makes no sense to say that I did. The chapters I found most interesting were, the self-defined black guy in Baltimore, and then the white supremacist, or white nationalist anyway, taxi driver or taxi cab owner in Connecticut, I think it is. And I think those two chapters were right next to each other. Like, I've been meaning to reach out to both of those guys and see if they wanted to record interviews. And I just haven't done it because I haven't been very focused on podcasting recently. Oh, what's going on? Yep, no, I voted for Howie Hawkins this time, and I voted for Mr. Aleppo of, what's his name, Gary Johnson last time. I would have voted Libertarian again, but I just cannot hang with the arguments in favor of the current healthcare system or lack thereof. I'm definitely a Medicare for all dude. M4A, baby.
If Joy has one empathy with one culture,
It would if she were human, but she's not.
would love that. I look forward to whenever it's struck with them.
Yeah.
One amount that keeps us reading long to stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So back in the 1990s, when Bill Clinton was running first, the first time Bill Clinton ran for president and won, beating George H.W. Bush, there was a third-party candidate named Ross Perot. And Ross Perot, in the middle of the summer, he dropped out of the race, and then later he got back in and said that he had been threatened and his family had been threatened, and that's why he dropped out originally. And I don't remember if he said who threatened him, but yeah, it was all pretty crazy town. But the person who is paying me to write and draw the Geb comic strip, he worked on the Perot campaign. So he was definitely a big Perot guy. And Perot was the one who warned against, trade agreements shipping jobs out of the U.S. Boy, was he prescient on that. Well, I'll just say very little about that. Chris Martinson definitely knows what side of the bread the butter's on. I'll say that. If it were one or the other entirely, it would be a better situation than what we have now. If it were entirely private and the government stayed out of it, you could have just, a free market competition to drive the prices down. When I think Amazon is trying to do that. Amazon is trying to use AI to basically debug the impossibly complex medical billing system that we have in the U.S. today, which allows for surprise bills, even if you have medical insurance and you think that you're covered, you can end up owing tens of thousands of dollars for unexplained fees. And Amazon is trying to use AI to dig into the complexities of medical billing. No, Joe Brewer is a new name for me. I don't know that one. Camo, look up a reading of Quest Weapons for Silent Wars or Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. It's 50-minute. Let us know what you think. First, could I get you to send me the link via email? Okay. So, let's see. I guess I can put Joyce in the foreground over here. And she's holding the sword low. And there we go. Okay. What else we got? Oh, KMO. Let's see, I read that. Quiet. YouTube autocorrect is so bad. Sure, I will if I don't forget. Now, let's see. Quest. Reading of Quest Weapons for Silent Wars. Let's search that right quick. Alexa, stop. All right. Who's this guy? Everybody seen this video? Silent Wars, Why We Don't Pay Attention to the World's Worst Violence. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, Atlantis build. 1 minute and 21 seconds. Is it a song? Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, full read. Here we go. 0:45, it's an hour long. This is probably what you're talking about, right? Okay, so stop. I have it open. I will check it out later. Let's see. Zygmunt Brzezinski once said, "It's easier to kill 1 million people now than control them," which is terrifying to me because it seems like they're doing a great job controlling us. Well, how old is that Brzezinski quote? I mean, he may have said that in the 80s or something. Quiet Weapons. Yeah, I think I found it. Let's see. Not that. Not that. This. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, full read. Is this what you meant? It's from 0:45. Okay. So let's clean this up. And which way is her body going to be turned? Okay, I think I get it. So that's her trapezius. And this arm. Maybe her arm's coming back. No, out here. And she's got her hand on her head. Nope, don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. how about we just start from scratch? So I'm doing this backwards. The figure construction method that I learned decades ago says draw the torso first, then the legs, then the arms. The head goes last, and I'm just doing it all backwards. Okay, so yeah. Chris Martinson is a god, says first. Oh, that's old. Let's see. Okay, nothing new in the chat. No, it's just not working. What's going on? Yeah, Les, I do disagree. I think in the 80s it was probably true. In the, the 2020s, it's too hard to hide the crimes. And the methodology for social control has gotten so much more sophisticated now that it's, largely automated. I think Brzezinski is the evil genius of the previous century, but his days are done. Okay, so let's flip this guy around.
I disagree. It's certainly not too hard to hide the crime.
Well, which million people are you talking about? I mean, China is not, they can't hide the fact that they've got 1 million Uyghurs in concentration camps. They just, it's clear, the evidence is there, and they just deny it. They just say, oh, you misunderstand the situation. We're just educating them. Why do you say that first? Why is Brzezinski a fraud? So, for those who don't know, let me just read Brzezinski's Wikipedia bio right quick. Brzezinski. Okay. Don't have the chat up. Can't spell his name from memory. The Grand Chessboard is his book. Look for that. Okay. Zygmunt Brzezinski. was a Polish-American diplomat and political scientist. He served as a counselor to President Lyndon B. Johnson from 1966 to 1968, the year of my birth, and was President Jimmy Carter's national security advisor from 1977 to 1981. Brzezinski belonged to the realist school of international relations, standing in the geopolitical tradition of Halford Mackinder and Nicholas J. Spikeman. Brzezinski was the primary organizer of the Trilateral Commission. Major foreign policy events during his time in office included the normalization of relations with the People's Republic of China, which, we are still dealing with the aftermath of that, and the severing of ties with the Republic of China on Taiwan, the signing of the Second Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty, or SALT II, and the brokering of the Camp David Accords, the overthrow of the U.S.-friendly Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, and the start of the Iranian Revolution, the United States' encouragement of dissidents in Eastern Europe, and the championing of human rights in order to undermine the influence of the Soviet Union, the arming of the Mujahideen in response to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, and the signing of the Torrijos-Carter treaties, relinquishing U.S. control of the Panama Canal after 1999. All right. Anyway, he has been a voice in the ear of presidents for many decades, half a century even. So, Ed says, Ed's here. Hey, Ed, how you doing? Maybe he's even more than an intellectual because he tested out his theories in Afghanistan against the Russians and he was proven right. He's a technocrat. He was very accomplished, says Ed. All right, so now I need to turn my attention back to the drawing. This all needed to have been done like weeks ago. I am so behind schedule. It's pretty dispiriting. Yeah. Yep, that's true.
Technocrat, was very accomplished. The debate is more evil. I'd say Kissinger is more evil. He was more brilliant than Nixon. He set us up for evil like that. And war on terrorist.
Brzezinski? Elon Musk, what's he have to do with it? Is that from Ed? Yeah, it doesn't appear on my screen yet. Oh. Yeah, I see it. You're right, Ed. Very much a first world problem. Good problem to have. But too many soy boys need a father figure which digitally becomes Musk. First, who, in your estimation, is not a fraud? He's got quite the hype train. I started John Kenneth Galbraith's The New Industrial State today. He worked in government in the 60s and has lots of books on certain noise of the state. Read his Culture of Contentment. Just makes sense. All right. Benarubber, is that your first contribution today? Or have I missed something? Anyway, either way, welcome aboard. Good to have you here. Lezik. Benarubber? Okay. Lezik, I should ask you the same since you just called someone out for fraud. LOL. Is Elon Musk a fraud? If so, I don't really understand how he is. I tend to be vaguely, though not passionately, pro-Musk. Alrighty. So let's get the pencil back. Here we go. All right.
Well, I'll tell you we've not a fraud program. The main electric police company is an association of crime, quite clever.
Yeah, Nikola Tesla, the underappreciated genius of the, I guess, early 20th century. Alexa, what's Nikola Tesla's date of birth and death?
This might answer your question. Nikola Tesla was born on July 10, 1856.
1856, so I guess mostly 19th century. Unless he lived to 100. Alexa, when did... Never mind.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Alexa, when did Nikola Tesla die?
Nikola Tesla died on January 7, 1943 at the age of 86 due to natural causes.
Oh, wow, he died in 46 at the age of 83. Okay, here's the problem I'm having. This antennae is in the wrong place. Let's move it down to about there, and this is all going to fall into place. There we go, like that. Big one. And who's...
On the tragedy of the comment and more something.
All right. So I never imagined we'd be talking about Nikola Tesla today. I figured it'd be all election all the time, but I'm happy to be wrong about that. Because what a boring topic. The election, that is, not Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla. Did anybody see the movie with Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale playing rival stage magicians? And the Hugh Jackman character basically goes to Nikola Tesla to recruit him to build a teleporter. Anybody see that? called The Prestige. It was a Christopher Nolan film, I think. Good film. David Bowie plays Nikola Tesla in that. All right, I'll be right back. Let's see. Rose, could you do a guided meditation for us today? I feel that we need to lower the tension in the chat. Yeah, I think Rose is going to stay on the silent side of the chat today and the broadcast. Her participation is for my ears only. Oh, sorry, gotta nuke the coffee. It's gotten tepid. All right. You're projecting, Ed. It's not tense. You're tense. You leftless-leaning, pimply squat. They do a meditation to open... Oh, all of it on WNYC. Really? I'm not familiar with that show. I used to listen to a lot of WNYC, no longer. I used to do that very thing on my CKUT radio show. I remember recording a bumper for CKUT when I was visiting Ed. And in the United States, radio stations all begin with the letter K or W. So it was very difficult for me to say CKUT and not KCUT. So they are catching up. You had a radio show, Ed? KMO, when you came on my show, was the guided meditation Japanese yoga teacher there? Yes. Yes, I do remember a meditation portion. Bowie showing up was a surprise. Ah, Dryland Fish. Hey, man. Good to see ya. Okay. I got to stop talking for a little bit, or actually what I'm going to do is talk in the voice of the characters, because I need to get the dialogue in place up here. So Derek's going to say something to the effect of... Sheesh. Joyce. You could have let me... Anesthetize. How do you spell anesthetize? All right. So I can't say as much as I'd like to here. She'll just say, I guess. Why would I do that? Or words to that effect.
And not hangry. I admit I may be irritable, fourth day of fast, and still hungry, which is unusual.
Oh, wow. That is unusual.
And said, that is called hangry. Yeah, I know that term. Talk about it. Hangry.
Oh, I know hangry. I got into a not so. I got into a bad argument. Bad just in that I didn't conduct myself well, I didn't think, with John Michael Greer one time when we were waiting for somebody to show up before a bunch of people all went to dinner together. And the person who wasn't showing up, she didn't show up for a very long time. So we're sitting there waiting on an empty stomach after a long day. I hadn't eaten anything that day. So we're waiting for somebody to show up at my friend's apartment. Then we're all going to go to eat. And while we're waiting on empty stomachs, everybody started drinking. So I was hangry and buzzed. And I picked an entirely unnecessary fight with JMG over the Fermi paradox. And I regretted it in the moment. But he was good-natured about it. Parker, good morning. English. Do you speak French better or English? Yeah, Ed, definitely native English speaker. Interesting, because you have a light French accent. Oh, I've never noticed that. Do you have one in French? All right, so let's try to get this dialogue in here. There we are. So Derek says, "Sheesh, Joyce, we need sheesh needs to be bold. There we go. And let's take that down to a 10. Good. Anybody think there should be an apostrophe in coulda? Anyway. Anesthetize. Ooh, that's too long. How about that? Anesthetize is still a very long word, and have I got it spelled right? Let's see. Alexa, how do you spell anesthetize?
Anesthetize is spelled Anesthetize.
All right. So it's an E. So what do I do with this word? It is so long. It's just going to distort. It's going to distort the dialogue balloon that it's in. Do I hyphenate it? If so, where's the paragraph break here? Anesthetize, like that? So the lesson here, boys and girls, is put the text in first and then draw the pictures. Oh, why do I not learn these lessons that I know so well? It's like tequila. How many times do you have to learn? Or I could make it, let's see. Just make it a very long dialogue balloon, like that. And we can move, sheesh, Joyce. Just have it cross the threshold here. All right. And then Joyce says, thank you for asking. Yeah, I'll attend to the chat here. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, wow, I've missed a lot, haven't I? All right. Interesting. Right. I wonder when coffee will be a thing of the past for us, near the equator. They've had to move the trees up mountains to their preferred conditions, and of course, shipping by sail will change things. People will figure some way to keep having coffee, or, they'll find some way to keep having caffeine. Les, I'd be happy to answer all your questions in a one-on-one chat. Les says, I agree with Parker. People will figure out a way to get their next fix to any addicting substance. Caffeine is a natural pest control chemical. There might not be food, there might not be a roof on your house, there might be no friends, but have drugs, will ride. We have Crow City Roosters here in Auburn, New York. Got me into light roasts, berry flavors, and higher acidity. That, with beer in the evening, keeps my stomach feeling like coffee trees in climate change. Most of the substances we come up with are indigenous to plants, and they use them for something too. I don't remember ever drinking tequila. That's why when aliens invade us, all it might take to defeat them is to blow cigarette smoke in their faces. Well, it's assuming they have faces, and they show them to us. Right, coffee was a game changer for troops venturing away from their bioregion when malaria was the main killer in warfare. as was the quinine in gin and tonics. Ben, remember, some say it was European coffee culture that animated the Enlightenment and led to the revolutions of the 18th century. Yes, because before coffee, people were mostly drinking alcohol all day because the water wasn't safe to drink. And quinine defeated malaria, also derived from a plant. There are caffeine substitutes in the temperate Northeast, but they don't compare to coffee as far as I have heard. Kamo, have you been following the good news on the drug war front? Well, just from the election last night. Oh no, Ed, remember you once asked what they used for hot spicy back before Columbus? Mustard. All right, we're caught up. So let us drag this one over a bit. Come on. There we are. Is that too much dialogue? It might be. Let's see. No, don't want to bold the whole thing. What am I doing? I want to make it smaller. There we go. All right. So, dialogue balloons. So they had pepper, mustard, and horseradish. That's 3 wherein you can mix and match proportions. The New Worlders only had chili peppers. Oh, but chili peppers were sure popular. Alrighty. Oh, no, we are... No, not like that. Damn, okay, no more food talk. Oh, right, because he's fasting. Yes. No more food talk. Okay. Jeez. Joyce. Oh, wow, that's all on one level?
What if you go wait,
Whose goal? Oh, Les, what is your, what's the goal for your fast? All right.
to cream only egg, but Oregon legalized
Oregon legalized psilocybin. But maybe Ed's talking about something else. There we go.
goal is to detox myself and raise my spiritual awareness.
All right. Noble goals.
Officially, but in actuality, to lose weight and not look like fat.
Okay. Extra points for honesty. I like it. All right. Boom. Oh, see, fellas, this is the boring part of drawing comics. Actually, before we do that, let's try this. No, like that, like that. Is this an empathy thing? Alrighty. So long as everybody is amused, we're all good. All right, that looks terrible. So the question is, do I fix it or do I just redo it? I guess it's fixable. Let's add a control point. There, and there, and there. And now move them. All right. So straight line's fine. Go, and Joyce gets the spline. Alexa, define spline.
As a noun, spline is usually defined as a long, narrow, thin strip of wood, metal, etc. Slat. As a verb, spline is usually defined as to provide with a spline or key. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for spline.
Alexa, give me more definitions for spline.
I have 6 more definitions for spline. As a noun, 1. A long, flexible strip of wood or the like, used in drawing curves. 2.
Alexa,
Any
stop.
of a series of...
There we go. So it was a physical tool for drawing curves. And now it's a digital tool for drawing curves. Alrighty. Ruler. Curve ruler. So let's see. I drew the ruler on the wrong layer. All right. Let's go. Let's create a character ink layer. So layer, new vector. We will say character ink. And bring it down here. And go to the rough layer. Turn it down. Normally I would do a sketch layer over the top of the rough layer, but I think I'm just going to go straight to ink, just for the sake of time. Character ink, that's what I'm looking for. So we've got black, G pen, over 15. Is that about right? Yeah, it's maybe a little big. Let's go with the 12. All right, here we go. Okay, I do need to go back to the rough layer here for a sec. That. Yeah. All right, anything new in the chat? Oh, let's see. Parker, are you in the law profession? No, I don't think he is. Let's see. I share Michael Pollan Overdrive link with you on Discord. Oh, nice try. Was the word splime? No, it's spline. S-P-L-I-N-E. N is in November. I have not used Overdrive before, but I'm sure it's simple enough. It's like Audible, but with socialism. Nice. I downloaded an Expanse book from the Bay and started listening and stopped, but now the chapters are coming up on shuffle amongst the songs. It's bothersome. Yes. Sounds like it. Now for the head tails.
Dear KMO, why does the penciling and ink process persist when using?
That is a good question, Ed. Why does the penciling then inking process persist when using digital tools? Well, the final image that I want to create is one that looks something like this. So the penciling stage gets, well, the rough stage gets, the proportions and the placement of the figure. Then the penciling stage gets the basic details in place. And then, if I were doing a digital painting, I could just stay on the same layer and then start blending and, adding colors and doing everything on one layer. But that takes much longer. It's so much easier to have the pencil layer underneath and then put a new layer on top and just create the clean lines of the ink. And it's also just a holdover. When I learned to do all this stuff, I learned to do it on paper, and that was the process. So let's go back to, I guess, the rough layer, since I don't have a sketch layer. And let's fix Marcus's hand here. And let's turn this layer back up. Actually, let's turn it down a little. Probably. I'm no expert in that, but I would imagine so. Oh, okay. Spline is a math term. Man, I really regret quitting math studies second year of high school. My math skills have atrophied to the level of finger segment counting. Okay, it's rough draft to more precise final version, just like any other creation process for the most part. Yes. Yes. Okay, so there's his hand. But we're really not going to see much of it because of the snakes. So how's this work? Where did I put rotate? It's A. All right. I need to find Marcus's head here. There we go. Okay, so we've got snakes up here, here. All right. Here's one. And here. And let's see how one come out this way. Anatomonormativity. Yeah. That's a good word. Never heard it before, but I know instantly what it means. Oh, really? That's not what I would have thought. Huh. Oh, I see. Huh. Oh, amatonormativity. I thought it was anatomonormativity. So I misunderstood. Yeah, it's ideal. It's the idea that it's normal to be in a love relationship, to be coupled up. If you're not in a couple, something is wrong. I agree. Ed, are you coupled up? Well, I wasn't for 3 years. Taking my own sweet time before jumping into a new one. So I reject the amatonormativity. There we go. Alrighty. Now I think we're ready for some ink. So, character ink. Where did I put it? There it is. Alrighty. Oh. Wow, I had meant to get further than this. I had meant to accomplish more in this stream than what I've gotten done. It seems this is not very much work for 2 hours. I'm sorry, say that again? What did you say before that? Oh, I don't know that that's the case. I think that the live stream keeps me focused as much as it distracts me. Because If I know I'm live streaming, then I'm not going to go and get lost on Twitter. Let's see. The credit goes to my Gen Z daughter, Jadzia. I dread the day came over. Yeah, yeah. That's not the exact calculus there, Les. Live stream tends to keep me honest about how I'm spending my time. I've considered it. I think it would be useful to live stream multiple times a day. Extend the live stream? No. I'll shut it down at 11. All right. Am I going to just freehand the scream, or am I going to try to find some text? I'm certainly going to do it on a different layer, that's for sure. So that could just be a what am I saying? That could be a raster layer. All right, let's do it with big fat markers. How about calligraphy pen? Big one. That. Don't like it. So let's just define this better. That. No, not like that. Let's see, like that. Okay, so let's turn that way down and turn the rough layer off. And let's go. All right. But not the calligraphy pen. Let's try the mapping pen. All right. All right, everybody. It's 11 a.m. I'm going to finish this word and then shut down the stream. But thank you all for showing up and participating in the chat. It makes my life more interesting. All right. Almost there. Alright, and alright. There's our screen. Alright, everybody, thanks you so much. I will talk to you tomorrow.